If the Suns did pull off a blockbuster trade, would it affect your fantasy NBA team? Oh boy, wouldn't it be awesome if they did? Yeah, don't look at us like that. If your trusty bench is more essential to the season than your probably kneecapless draft pick, then this is a big deal. Ayton's massive contract snub could be behind the scuffle. Have a seat and let's see what's really going on. First up, really? Was that internal? When asked about Ayton after the game, Coach Monty Williams deflected questions about his benching by saying it's internal, before turning back around to walk away from reporters who continued to ask questions about his star big man. According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, Ayton was visibly frustrated by his lack of playing time on the bench and reportedly yelled at Williams and other team staffers. The incident has some wondering if there is an issue between Ayton and Williams that could lead to a summer trade or free agency departure for Ayton. Ayton had a disastrous playoffs debut, averaging just 4.5 points per game on 35% shooting from the field and 21% from three. He struggled defensively, often getting beaten off Damian Lillard's dribble and CJ McCollum. And now, if DeAndre Ayton was so good, why did he sit out? That's the hot question at hand from a recent bench blowout. After Ayton helped lead the Phoenix Suns to a win over the Dallas Mavericks with 25 points, 13 rebounds, and 1 assist in 36 minutes of play, it seemed like he was ready for bigger and better things. Then all of a sudden, Ayton sat out the next game. You'd think sitting out your first regular season game would be less than ideal, but reports starting to come out that maybe his bench blow-up wasn't exactly another rookie temper tantrum. As it turns out, what seems like a minor tweak could spell big issues down the line. Ayton didn't play well in Game 7 either, scoring just 2 points on 1 of 6 shooting with 5 turnovers. After the game, he didn't seem too happy about it either. After scoring just 6 points in Game 6, DeAndre Ayton was benched for nearly half of Game 7 against Portland. On Monday night, Phoenix head coach Monty Williams benched Ayton for much of the second half, as he struggled to make an impact on offense or defense against Jusuf Nurkic and Al-Farouq Aminu. Afterward, Williams told reporters that he didn't know why his star center sat most of the second half. Ayton, who signed a $248 million max contract extension with the Suns this offseason, played only 17 minutes, missing all 5 of his shot attempts and picking up 2 fouls in that time. He finished with 4 points and 8 rebounds on 2 of 9 shooting while playing just 22 minutes total over the first 3 games of the series. Williams said after the game that he was disappointed in how Ayton performed in Game 3, in which Phoenix lost by 28 points to fall behind 3-0 in the series. Up next, Williams and Ayton got into a heated argument. Williams and Ayton reportedly got into a verbal spat off the court. The video of their exchange wasn't captured on camera, meaning it happened in the tunnels or back in the locker room. Ayton was apparently upset about being taken out of the game with just under 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The 7'1" center, selected number 1 overall in last month's NBA draft, apparently vented his frustration at teammate Tyson Chandler. Ayton then had to be separated by head coach Igor Kosakov and assistant coach Mark West. The team is riding a 7-game losing streak and has been mired in turmoil all year long. The latest chapter came Tuesday when reports surfaced that top draft pick DeAndre Ayton had to be separated from teammate Marvin Bagley III during a practice altercation. After being pulled, Ayton reportedly raised his voice at Williams and had to be restrained by multiple people before returning to the bench. This isn't the first time this season that Williams has removed Ayton from a game without explanation. In November, Williams pulled Ayton from a home contest against the Los Angeles Lakers in favor of Richaun Holmes, despite his 21 points and 11 rebounds in only 21 minutes played through 3 quarters of play. According to a witness who tweeted after the game, Williams asked Ayton if he wanted to play, then immediately pulled him out of the game. Williams has since denied this report and said he did not tell Ayton anything before pulling him out of the game, according to AZ Central's Scott Bordow. So, did Lil Wayne spark the firestorm? We're not surprised that a lot is going on behind the scenes here. We know that it's hard to keep up with everything in the league, but it's well known that Phoenix has had issues with their young players, specifically Devin Booker and Josh Jackson, for years now. In other words, this isn't exactly new territory for them. We're also not surprised by Lil Wayne saying this because there's nothing more entertaining than Lil Wayne drama. According to him, an incident between Ayton and head coach Monty Williams almost led to him quitting basketball altogether. The rapper told TMZ Sports that he was sitting across from the Suns bench and told him Monty got so upset with Ayton that he said, "You freaking quit on us." The incident was apparently not isolated. A separate source close to the team told Skip Bayless, a prominent media personality, of another instance when Ayton walked off the floor scored during a timeout in a game earlier this season. The two sides have been at odds for some time now. The Suns were reportedly upset that Ayton didn't show up to shoot around one morning, and he later told reporters that he wasn't happy with how he was being used off-ball. In an interview with ESPN earlier this month, Ayton said he hasn't got his touches yet. He didn't know if it's because of him or not. And now it's all about the contract. Money talks. Phoenix Suns forward DeAndre Ayton is set to enter restricted free agency this summer, but he wants a big payday. According to reports from the New York Times and several other outlets, he'd like the team to give him a massive 5-year, $172.5 million contract. That's $247.5 million Australian dollars. The Suns reportedly need more time to sort out the details of the deal, and it won't be finalized until later in the summer. Phoenix star guard Devin Booker had an interesting comment about DeAndre Ayton's contract situation after the game. Booker said he wasn't concerned with Ayton's contract situation, but simply wanted to focus on the game. He added that nothing would change between them whether Ayton signs a contract extension. Is Ayton the most realistic trade piece? Former NBA player JJ Redick said that the Suns would have to sweeten the deal with at least one other player in order to receive a star player in return. The Suns were expected to make a run at Anthony Davis this summer, but nothing has materialized yet. The New Orleans Pelicans have said that they don't want to trade their star forward, and he has publicly expressed his desire to stay in New Orleans long term. Ayton is just 23 years old and averaged 16 points and 10 rebounds in his third season with the Suns last year. He has been compared to DeAndre Jordan in terms of his athleticism and rebounding ability for most of his career, so it wouldn't be surprising if a team like the Los Angeles Lakers or New York Knicks made him an offer he can't refuse this offseason if they don't land one of their top-tier big men in free agency like Davis or Kristaps Porzingis. The Phoenix Suns have been active in trade talks this offseason. First, they traded Marquese Chriss to the Sacramento Kings for the rights to Bogdan Bogdanovic and Harry Giles. Then they dealt Mikal Bridges to the Philadelphia 76ers for Zaire Smith and a 2020 first-round pick. The trade deadline is near, and now it appears that the Suns are looking to make another move. According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, they're interested in trading DeAndre Ayton, who's been one of their main building blocks since being drafted #1 overall last summer. Finally, does Redick have an axe to grind against Ayton? Redick also clarified that the reason Ayton did not receive a $172.5 million, which is about $247.5 Australian million max contract this offseason, was not because of his performance in the playoffs last year. He said that Ayton was good in the playoffs last year, but he and the Suns were concerned about his attitude and character. Redick's comments came after he was asked if the team would have been better served to bring back DeAndre Ayton and Luka Doncic instead of trading them for Mikal Bridges and Elie Kobo. Now, this is just a report from Redick, who might have an axe to grind against Ayton, but he's also a respected veteran who's played in the NBA for over a decade, so we think we can trust him on this. The Suns had a meeting with Ayton on Tuesday, but Redick said that didn't mean anything at this point in time, as the team is still trying to figure out where they are going from here. It's not just that he had 2 bad games, they were the 2 worst games of his career. It was the first time in his professional career that he had been benched, and the first time in his pro career that he didn't score in a playoff game. He had an average of 17 points per game during the regular season and only 15 points in the playoffs this year, and 10 rebounds. Is Ayton still doing as well as he can? We'd love to know if he's still going strong. What do you think? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to catch more NBA news.